This is going to be the last video for today, and I'm going to teach you a lot. So here you go. I'm going to teach you A over B. We're going to learn some fractions. A is the numerator, and B is the denominator. And I want you to think D because it's down. It's downstairs. Okay. So, part over whole. Fractions are really a part over a whole. What part of the whole can I have? Can I have all of it? Can I have some of it? That's really where fractions come in. So I want you to first see a picture of a circle. This circle is 100%. It's a whole pizza. Okay? Now, if I were to slice it in half, and I color it in, what fraction of the pizza can I have? It would be 1 out of 2. Now, what if I'm going to take the same pizza and I want to divide it into 4s, but I'm still having a half. Half of my pizza is still there. Now it is 2 out of 4. But I'm going to now divide it into 8s. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 out of 8s. So I'm still having a half of a pizza. I'm having 4 slices. And it can go on and on. I could divide it into 16ths, and it would be 8 out of 16ths, etc. So I want you to imagine a picture. Now I'm going to be teaching you how to find equivalent fractions. And let's start with what an equivalent fraction is. Okay, let's start with 1 out of 3. 1 is nothing. It's not considered prime, but 3 is a prime number. And you need to have a prime number somewhere so you know you are done. We are as low as we can go, because when I teach you to simplify or reduce, that would be reduced. To find an equivalent fraction, you take a number, any number, and I recommend starting with something small. So if you had to find 3 equivalent fractions, I would start with the numbers 2, 3, and 4. And you take that number and you multiply it by the numerator as well as the denominator. So let's say I take 2. Okay? 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6, and that would be an equivalent fraction. Let's say I'm going to take 1 over 3 and I want to multiply it by 3. Whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. For fairness, it's called even Steven, and it's now 3 out of 9. So 3 out of 9, 2 out of 6, and 1 out of 3 are all the same fraction. Those are equivalent. But let's say I have a fraction 2 out of 5. Again, you pick a number, any number, let's say 10. Multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 10. And now that's my new fraction. So that is an equivalent fraction. If you want to think of 5 out of 10, well, you know 5 out of 10 is a half. That's equivalent. Let's say I want to simplify. Now I want to simplify or reduce. And that's getting rid of everything. It's making life easier, saying you do this, you do this, you do this, and I'll watch TV. Whatever it is, you're just simplifying it to make life easy. So let's say it's 4 out of 10. And for simplifying, you want to divide. When we want to find an equivalent, you can divide, but most likely you will also be multiplying. For simplifying, it's always reducing. Always, always, always. You want to get as low as you can go. You want to divide as many into it. And you want to think of the greatest common factor. It's a term you're going to become friendly with next year. Greatest common factor is the highest factor that goes into both of it. And don't forget a factor. For the factor of 4, it's 1, 2, and 4. These are factors, okay? And for the factors of 10, it's 1, 2, 5, and 10. So the greatest number they have in common, yeah, they got 1, but that's not the greatest number, is it? 2 would be the greatest number. So I'm going to divide by 2. And you might have already known 2 goes into them. And 2 goes into 4 twice, and 2 goes into 10, 5. That's as low as you can go. There's your prime number. So let me show you 3 out of 21. Well, if I want to think about the factors, let's say I'm just not sure. Well, 1 and 3 are factors of 3. 1, 3, 7, and 21 are factors of 21. Well, yeah, they have 1 in common, but you can never do 1. It's rarely you can do 1. But they have 3. So if I divide it by 3, I now get 1 over 7. And that's how you simplify. I'm going to put one on the board for you. I'd like you to find either the Simplified or the equivalent, you tell me. Actually, you can simplify or reduce this, which will also give you an equivalent fraction. So find the equivalent, and you can find the simplified. I'm going to do it myself on the board, so if you're not interested in looking, look at your paper and start your solving. Either one of these would have worked. 1 over 3 is equivalent to 2 over 6. It's also reduced. 6 out of 18 is also equivalent. I'm going to do another just so you're sure you know, because sometimes the numbers get bigger. What goes into both of those numbers evenly? The highest number that goes in, it's going to be 15, but let's say you only thought 5 went into both of those, okay? You're not thinking, so you know 5 goes into them. And 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into that 9. These are not prime numbers. That's prime, but that's not, so we can go even lower. Five times 3 is 15. So 15 was actually the number that goes into it. But if you didn't, you would just have to take the extra step. And that's how you find equivalent numbers, fractions.